Bitch, give me what you got.
Please don't knock those together. No.
Holy shit!
Jesus.
Oh
Bobby,
my
stop. Bobby,
shit.
stop. With you.
Woo!
Do not move. Do not move.
Let me turn this mic on. What's up, YouTube? What's up, Rumble? What's up, Facebook? How y'all doing today? Yeah, this is Mr. Royce of Royce Media coming at you guys with another video, another live stream. What's going on? How y'all doing this morning? Y'all good? I'm good. I'm feeling pretty good. I can't complain. You know, nobody would care anyway. Yeah, let me adjust this mic so y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Can everybody out there hear me? Do me a favor, put a one in the chat for those of you all who are here to let me know if you can hear me. For everybody coming in, do me a favor and hit the like button. I'd appreciate that. If you really feeling generous, drop something in the Cash App. I'd appreciate it. So what's going on this morning? Here in North Florida, we've had a little bit of rain the last couple of days. Much needed. You know, we got to get that St. Augustine grass growing. You know, that is a style of grass, a type of grass that we have out here, and it is a type of grass that actually comes from South Africa. But enough about that. Y'all don't care about that. All y'all care about is all this stuff with Diddy. And we're gonna talk about Mr. Diddy today. We're gonna talk about some of the stuff we talked about yesterday, which was a lot of this stuff is happening that's going on in the news, like with Diddy, with Fanny, all of everybody with a I or a Y at the end of their names, they're in the news a lot, and I think it's a big distraction. I gave my opinion of it yesterday. We're going to talk about that bridge situation in Baltimore. Uh, Prayers up for the people in Baltimore that were negatively impacted by that bridge collapsing. Some of you all know that in the military, I was a combat engineer. Um, I retired at the rank of master engineer. And some of what I did, well, a little bit more than some, had to do with bridges. I know the anatomy of a bridge pretty good. I'm very familiar with it because it was my job to basically understand how to either exploit or destroy bridges. So, that I a uh, bridge crew member? No, but I had to learn a lot about bridges in order to make a decision on what to do with the bridges. So we have that there. Now, it's funny with this bridge situation, the black box that records all of the radio transmissions and the surveillance video that would affect the ferry that crashed into the bridge, well, that was impacted by the bridge. It seemed like none of the communication systems were working. I have an issue with that, and it doesn't it always seem like the the devices in this day of high technology, the devices that we need to collect evidence, doesn't it always seem like they don't work when you need them the most? They seem like they don't work. I find that problematic. I don't know about you all, but I've got a problem with that, man. So seem like that stuff never worked when you needed to work, but if they want to catch you up, they got all kinds of video. Be like Puffy, have video cameras everywhere. Shout out to Diddy. Mr. Mr. How come you won't party with me? Hey, I was looking at a video yesterday, Diddy talking to Fabulous, talking about how come you won't party with me? He was real aggressive, man. It was basically some hip hop SA. Y'all shout out to everybody that know what SA means. Y'all know what it means. We've seen enough of it. We've been inundated enough to know when we hear SA, we know exactly what people are talking about. Yeah. Yeah, man. But you got that going. We talked about the raid at Diddy's mansions, and the one in Los Angeles, the other one in Florida, in the Miami area at Star Island. For some reason, some people think that Star Island was Diddy's island. That is not the case. He does not own Star Island. Hey, what's going on with some of the previous information that has come out about him? I don't think I don't think Diddy owned much, which is smart. It's a smart thing to do if you are someone who is very popular, um, in the public eye and stuff. I, I wouldn't own much myself. I wouldn't own it myself. Those of you all who know what I'm referring to, if you know, you know. Put all that stuff, you know, in other places, man. So, yeah. Anyway, what y'all got going on, man? How y'all feeling today? What else is in the news we can talk about? Y'all want to look at some videos? Let's look at some videos, and I will give my commentary on it, man. Let's look at some videos. Y'all got some videos y'all want me to look at? I'll look at those videos. If not, I will pick some videos of my own. In fact, let's kick it off looking at that throwback video of Puffy harassing Fabulous. Let me get that video. Let me pull that video up, man. That video was hilarious, man. Yeah. Oh, it was horrible. Let me see if I can find it, man. I just had that video, man. I just hold on. Let me. Yeah. Take a look at this. For entertainment purposes, of course. For entertainment, and uh, we'll give a little commentary on it. It don't hurt nobody, you know. We'll do that under the Fair Use Act. One of my videos, one of my live streams got a copyright strike for a video I didn't even put in there. How did that happen? I think sometimes YouTube just finds stuff to harass people about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's do this. Fair use, fair use.
Mr. Lee,
Yeah, I love this drink.
Where you
Chance
put my
with you. I
bag
like
at?
when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag
Daddy,
at,
I like
Mr.
when
Lee?
you
It's
when you
right here,
scrambling
it's
and
right
scraping
here.
for shit.
No, I got
I
notes
like
and
that.
shit. I'll be practicing. I got
Yeah.
Hey, what type of what grown man tells another grown man, I like it when you scrambling and scraping? That's off the bat, that's creepy. That's real creepy. Let's continue. Let's continue. Fair use, fair use.
Mr. Lee,
Yeah, I love this drink.
where you
Chance
put my
with you. I
bag
like
at?
when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag
Daddy,
at,
I like
Mr.
when
Lee?
you
Oh,
when
it's
you
right here, it's
scrambling
right
and
here.
scraping
Oh,
when you
it's right here,
scrambling
it's
and
right
scraping
here.
for shit.
No. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna go over that one.
Make a
that
wish.
one.
Just blow it out. It's your birthday every day.
Every day's your birthday on Drink Champs. God damn it, I'm in.
Where I look
Did you
look
miss
back on
me?
where I became.
Did you miss me though? For real, because I'm saying it seems like a thing
I
with
miss
this
partying
birthday
with
party,
Puff, man. I
Man,
miss
but I'm
partying
talking about
with
for
you.
your birthday.
Huh?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
Yeah, we partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party. You know what I'm saying? Eyes, brother.
Oh, man.
Eyes.
Hey, when Diddy just said that, you knew what that partying, quote unquote, that that partying he was talking about, you knew it was something nefarious behind it. It was real John Wayne Gacy-ish. It had the John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer vibe to it. Just Diddy a wild boy. Let's continue. Fair use, fair use.
Eyes. I understand. I understand.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Odd niggas in the
Yo,
world.
okay. So check this out. It's me, Tyrese, Ray J, and F. Gary Gray. You know, I'm a type of nigga, I like variety, man. I like people that's unpredictable. You know what I'm saying? I like different personalities. So I was like, I never knew they would become.
Oh, really? He like variety. Diddy said he like variety. he, he like a bag of mixed nuts. Let's continue. Fair use, fair use. Shout out to the Indie Box for this video. We're gonna keep going. Fair use, fair use.
What they are today. But you know what I'm saying? But like, you know, that sounded like the type of night I want to have in Vegas. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So Tyrese kept on talking.
This is a Floyd fight, right?
Yeah. And Tyrese keep on talking about like how you got to get back for church. And we just like, yo, the night ain't start. You got to get back for church. We in motherfucking Vegas, nigga. We're like, you can go to church next week. You know what I'm saying? Sending your thing. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing but we in Vegas. Don't be bringing God into this situation. Don't bring God into this situation. You know what I'm saying? F. Gary Gray is like, nigga, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Then you got Ray J. So Ray J is like just really like feeling like Ray J right now. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, that's enough of that. What y'all think about that, man? Hey, hey, Puffy, wild man. Hey, that dude is wild. Hey, you know what? I would never want to be alone in a tight space with this guy, man. He's wild. Like he's wild, man. It's like he's like the Dennis Rodman of rap. Really, when you think about it, he's like the Dennis Rodman of rap, man. He's a wild boy. He's a wild boy, man. Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. You know, there's a few people walking around like that, walking around this planet. I remember back when I was young, we lived in this apartment building, in this apartment complex, and the landlord he was kind of on some Diddy type stuff, man. He would try to offer me like little money, and he'd be like, "Oh no, just take it." And I would be like, "No, man, I'm not taking no money from you." I was very aware of molesters. I was aware at an early age, man. You know, don't take money from strangers. Don't take money from creepy old dudes. Um, so I never had a problem with guys. I had an incident with with a creepy old woman. Actually two, but them old guys, man. Yeah. What's up, Mr. Foster? Mr. R. Foster, how you doing today, bro? Glad to have you. Glad you can join me this morning, man. What's up? Yeah. Man, glad you're here, man. We was talking about Diddy, man. We was talking about we was looking at the video of the interaction between Diddy and the rapper Fabulous. Or Fabulous, however you say it, man. You know what? I left I left hip hop alone for the most part. I left the entertainment aspect of it alone, like around 93, 94, because I transitioned over into trying to become a professional kickboxer. Shout out Andrew Tate. Uh, but I shifted my attention and focus from one thing to another, and so and that was due to a lot of stuff I saw in hip hop, and we knew about Diddy back then. Like I said, we knew about Diddy back then. You would hear stuff just like R. Kelly. I've told the story before about my run-ins with R. Kelly, with him uh, trying to groom one of my sisters. So no news. What's up, bro? How you doing, man? Glad you could join us. Salute to you. No News says, I just finished your video from the other day when you were talking about corruption, but good quote comes to mind from The Wire. Follow the money and you never know where you end up. Freeman. Yes, follow the money, man. Follow the money. Once you start seeing the last names, the addresses, and the money, all of that stuff comes together. Yeah. Yeah, man. Hey, well, hopefully I can entertain you while you're on your way to work, bro. You know, if I can do that, that's a good day to me. That's a good day. I want to be able to entertain you and a bunch of other people on your way to work, while you're working and stuff. Shout out to my truck drivers. Shout out to my people who drive for a living. Your truck drivers, your police officers, your city workers, your municipal workers, all if you got to drive to work, I want to be the guy that you listen to while you're driving, and when you're not listening to radio communication from your employer, which, that is a priority. So of course, you want to listen to those people first, but I would like to definitely be your alternative choice. Yeah, man. So, yeah, man, getting back to this situation with Diddy, him being creepy, uh, you know, him being sexually aggressive with other grown men, trying people, man. You know, just first of all, them Hollywood mogul types, they're like that. Your Weinsteins, your Epsteins, your Hanks. Yeah, your Hanks. Like Tom. Yeah, stories have been out about Tom Hanks for a long time. Uh, your Brandos, you know, uh the, the entertainment industry, be it the silver screen, or music, or even now the TV screen, you got a lot of weirdos that are attracted to that, and they run roughshod over everything. They run wild, and they do a lot of stuff, man. They do a lot of stuff. They do a lot of nefarious stuff. Uh, and while they do damage some people that come in contact with them, most of those people aren't victims. I'm telling you, most of those people aren't victims. I already told y'all what the deal was with Cassie, uh, the deal was with Harpo and Drea. And when I say Harpo, y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all know who I'm talking about. These people aren't exactly victims. A lot of times they're participants. you know, Madam Harpo, Madam Drea. Yes, madam. Y'all know where I'm going. Those of you all who know, you know. Yeah, yeah, you know. Those of you all who know, you know. But, anyway, um, what happens with those types is that they are protected for years until um, they're no longer useful or somebody decides that it's time to move them out of the way, you know. And that's what happened to, you know, Weinstein, Epstein, Cuba Gooding Jr., Russell Simmons, all of those people. No News says, in the words of Mr. Palmer, they're not victims, they're volunteers. Shout out to Mr. Palmer. Shout out to my brother, Mr. Palmer. Every now and then, me and him, we talk. You know, I know Mr. Palmer outside of YouTube. You know, Chicago dude, good guy. Check out his channel if you are not already subscribed to him. Ooh, hey, I'm gonna take a real quick break, real quick. I'm gonna get back. I gotta handle something real quick. So you all be patient, and I'm coming back. And I'm back just like that. Thank you all for being patient. I need to handle something real quick. And so I'm back. But yeah, man, what happens with people like that is that they are allowed to run around and do stuff with and to people and put people in uncomfortable positions, some people, and until, the industry's finally had enough. And make no mistake, the entertainment industry is full of gangsters, just like politics. They're both full of gangsters and nefarious characters, man. They are. You know, when we talk about politicians, you look at Michael Madigan, man. Michael Madigan from Chicago, from Illinois, he was a gangster. He was a gangster. And they operate their organized crime differently. They're not like Black Mafia Family, both versions. They're not like, you know, uh, your various street gangs like your gangster disciples and vice lords and stuff, which they would be the same way if they could. But these people operate like gangsters. They they moved they move in a very organized criminal way, and they do a lot of stuff until others with power or you know, the power brokers get tired of them, and then you know the appropriate information gets to the right people, and you know then eventually the authorities come for it. You know, there's no different with Diddy, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see this happen with a few other people. Now, in the case of like your Fannie Willis's and stuff, they picked with the wrong people. They kept poking the bear, and the bear showed them that the bear was a bear. She'll likely be going to jail. Her, Tiffany Henyard, and a few others. Probably Latoya Cantrell. You know, they'll be going to jail. Uh, Corey Bush. You know, eventually AOC gonna get herself caught up. You know, AOC might be a little bit more protected. You know, because she's a part of the demographic uh in favor right now. She's the in vogue demographic. So yeah, yeah. You know, I was talking about that bridge story a little bit earlier. Let's take a look at what's going on with that bridge. Let's take a look at some commentary. You know, take a look at some of that stuff, man, with that bridge. Francis Scott Key. Do you all know who Francis Scott Key was? He is he's an important figure in U.S. history. Francis Scott Key was the person that said, "Give me liberty or give me death." That is very inspirational, but it also has dual meanings. We'll get into that, but not now. And not now. We'll get into that. That whole thing with liberty. Um, I think some of you all do not realize what's behind all that liberty talk. Some of you all do. I believe Mr. Foster knows. Somehow, I believe he knows, but not all of you all know the meaning behind it. Let's take a look at this video about the Baltimore Bridge collapse. It is the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Fair use, fair use. Can you all see that, people? It's a beautiful scene. It's a beautiful scene. Uh, the calm before the storm. Fair use. Let's continue. Fair use, fair use. I believe this is the ferry in question that's pulling up on the bridge, that's approaching the bridge right now. So let's continue to watch and see what happens. This video is about 7 minutes. Shout out to First Coast News. So we're gonna continue to watch this. Fair use, fair use. Gotta speed that up a little bit, man. Yeah, I think I gotta speed that up some more, man. It is painfully slow. This video is only 7 minutes and we're halfway through, but it it's pretty slow right now. I know I need to work on being patient. Fair use, fair use. Let's continue. Shout out Full Coast News. This must be the part where they they call the bridge controls to have the bridge moved. I haven't seen this video, so this I'm looking at this for the first time, like you all are. So you know, and I speed this up some more. This is ridiculous. You know what? Hold on. Let's do this. That's much better. I was going the wrong way, man. Oh, there's no technology. Like an old geezer, man. Some chick called me a boomer the other day on YouTube. Said I'm a boomer. I told her we look alike. We both we both old and ugly together, like two ugly fraternal twins. So you know, told her I like the way her mustache is lined up. Yeah, man. Oh my God. There it is. Oh, yo. Whoa. Did you all see that? Hey, let's go back a little bit. Oh. I was like whoa, man. That was horrible, man. Oh, man. Prayers up for the people that were affected by that. That, you know, being a combat engineer in the Army, that was, I've blown up small bridges, but, and I've seen how it looks when a small bridge is demolished like that. But, and even though this was a disaster, I would love to see something like that up close. You all just don't know. I would love to see something like that up close, man. That was amazing and horrible at the same time. You know, that's like one of the things that you really can't look away. You know, of course, it is terrible. People were injured and killed. Yes, I get it. I get it. But objectively, it's amazing to see something like that happen. It's a disaster, no doubt. But it's still amazing to see something like that. I would love to be there to analyze exactly what happened. You know, as y'all know, as I stated before, I do know something about bridges, about bridge anatomy, how bridges are made. I know quite a bit of information. And so I would love to actually be a part of the investigative team that looks into that, you know. So, but you know, that was horrible. And that's really a testament to what's going on with our infrastructure and what's being ignored. We're bringing people into the country to work menial jobs, but we're doing nothing to repair and improve our infrastructure and to educate and facilitate the people that have those skills. We're not doing that work as a country, but we're bringing in eaters and breeders. And it's not a diss to the illegal immigrants. I'm not calling them undocumented, so all of the other politically correct stuff. They're illegal immigrants. You know, they can claim, you know, once they get asylum, then that's a different status. But until they get that, if they didn't come in through proper channels, they are illegal. That being said, we're not getting the skilled people that we need. We're getting a bunch of people who are going to tax the system that's already been taxed. So, you know, and we're, we're not pushing people that the people that can or potentially can repair the infrastructure, that can do the things to repair and maintain the infrastructure. And this is we're worried about DEI. What better way to um what better way to institute DEI than to have people that work on the infrastructure and not just black girl magic pilots? Nah, you know that. Yeah. Which I've got no issue with, any woman being a pilot. Hey, listen, if you can do the job, you can do the job. Okay. And you should have the opportunity to try to do the job. But I'm not going to make it a priority to exclude one group over another, just to make a political statement for representation, because then you wind up with a lot of goofiness down the road. And that's what we don't want. We need to minimize as much goofy soup as possible. That's a Chicago term. You know. Yeah, man. So yeah, that bridge situation, it was horrible, man. It was horrible. And like I said, prayers up for the people who were negatively impacted by the situation, man. So let's take a look at some more news, man. Let's take a look at some more news. So our girl Lunel, speaking on Diddy and Bill Cosby and stuff. Hey, Lunel, she Lunel is funny to me, man. Lunel is hilarious to me, but Lunel can't stand me. Lunel can't stand me. Hey, Lunel, if you listening, let's be friends. Let's be friends. Um, don't hate me for having a differing opinion than you have. you know, yeah, man. Let's see what else we got in the news. So Fannie Willis she's being sued by inmates in Fulton County. She's got several suits she's got to deal with in Fulton County. Oh, I got a story, man. Speaking of Diddy, I got a story we can take a look at, man. I'm I'm in an area in Northeast Florida, not far from Jacksonville. So I want to take a look at this story. And I retired from law enforcement, and so I think this is a interesting story to cover because I've seen this before. I had a former supervisor who was a kid diddler, and he ended up, you know, um, escaping prosecution, for his crimes via self-deletion. So, let's take a look at this story about a sheriff's deputy who is accused of being a diddler. He likes to move around on it under the Diddy Act.
Yes, Your Honor.
They're bringing your client right now.
Thank you.
This is another video by First Coast News. Shout out to First Coast News.
All
Fair
right.
use,
Good
fair
morning. Are you
use.
Mr. Garriga?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Garriga, you're here this morning after being picked up on an arrest warrant. Your attorney, Mr. Monroe, is on the line. Mr. Monroe, I'll come to you in just a moment. Mr. Garriga, it's an arrest warrant that I personally reviewed yesterday. I did find probable cause in all 5 counts. The charges are lewd and lascivious behavior, a third-degree felony, obscene communication, traveling to meet a minor after using a computer or electronic device, a second-degree felony, lewd or lascivious, touching with a person over 24 years or older, victim 17 years of age or older. That's a third-degree felony. Cruelty to child, transmit harmful information to a minor, third-degree felony, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device, third-degree felony. In all 5 counts, I set bonds in the amount of $75,003. on the bond are to have no contact with the victim. That means no contact whatsoever through social media, telephone, text messaging, or coming in personal contact with her. I also placed a GPS monitor on you. You're not to have any contact with minors. You're not to use the internet or possess any device that has access to the internet, and you're not to possess any firearms.
Yeah. Hey, there's a job opening with the Jacksonville Police Sheriff's Office. If you're looking for work and you're looking for you in law enforcement, there's a job opening. This guy, man, um, this is despicable. And, you know, a lot of people say, well, why can't he just get uh, sex from an adult? It's not really about sex. It's not about sex for people with proclivities like this. It is about something more sinister, far more sinister. Because if it was just about sex, he could get on Tinder and Bumble and all of the other dating apps, because that's all that stuff is for. They're for hookups. That's 85% of what that stuff is for hookups. He went to a site specifically where he can come into contact with kids. It's not just about sex. There's something far more sinister with this guy. Now he is presumed to be innocent until guilt is proved beyond a reasonable doubt. And we'll follow this case until its completion. But even mm, shout out to the sheriff's office for catching this guy, man. You know, it, if he is found guilty, I hope that Florida, hey, DeSantis, shout out to Governor DeSantis. He just signed a bill to where if you are convicted of a child, uh, an SA charge against a child, that is a capital case. So, hey, listen, if he is found guilty of it and he is proven beyond a reasonable doubt, hey, get him out of there. Get him out of there. He got to go. We not gonna keep wasting money on clowns like this, so he could, possibly do this stuff again. This now, mind you, this is what the left they're trying to protect people like him and trying to make what these guys do, what people like him do. They're trying to make it legal, And I know here in the state of Florida, there's a bit of a problem with that. We got a bunch of creeps, males and females, running around this state, man, and so they got to go. They got to go. Let's look at a little more of this. Fair use, fair use.
Mr. Monroe, that was the starting point. I'll hear from you, but I just wanted to make sure I advised him of what's been done so far.
Thank you, Your Honor, and I appreciate that. Would Your Honor entertain bond argument since you were the issuing judge?
I wouldn't without a motion. I don't know if you've read the affidavit yet or not.
Your Honor, I have not been provided an affidavit.
All right, let's end this. Let's end that video here, man. I've seen enough for that one. But shout out to No News. Shout out to No News Podcast. He said, oh no, that's Mr. Foster. Sorry about that. Mr. Foster. Mr. Foster says it's about power. Yes, it is about power. Most sex crimes are about power. That is an element, a very strong element in it. And even crimes where it is female on male, sex crimes where the female is an offender, it's about power. It's about power and control. No matter who the offender is, It is about power and control. It is about imposing their will on others. You know, this conversation is often discussed in the context of a male offender on other victims, but we don't discuss the fact that female offenders are the same, and in fact, in almost all the cases, that is their primary motivation: power and control, the ability to impose their will upon others. And unfortunately, most of them escape prosecution. Most of them dodge the criminal justice system because the victims tend not to speak on it. A lot of times the victims are males, and they're shamed into speaking out about it because, it's looked at as if the female offender did the male a favor. You know, we see that a lot with these incidents in schools. You look online whenever you have an incident of a female sex offender, uh, when a female offender is found to have had sexual contact with high school boys and young men, you know, you got guys, first thing they say, "Oh, I wish that, she's hot. I wish that was happening in my school." You switch the sexes, and oh, they need to kill him. They need to get rid of him. Get him out of there. He would never make it to court. The very same people, and this is mostly guys that do that. The thing is we need to have consistency across the board. And besides, you don't want your sons to be mentally scarred from a sexual experience that they shouldn't have had because they weren't ready and it was in an inappropriate context. But you know, let the hypersexual tell it. Yeah, it's good. No, it's not good. It's not good. It's really not. You wind up with a bunch of R. Kellys walking around. You know, when it's same sex, the victims, a lot of times they go away from those interactions and they become, in a lot of cases, they become monsters themselves. you know so yeah, that bottom line is, if that man is found guilty, this guy, this police officer in Jacksonville, if he's found guilty, man, I hope they get him out of there. Give him that sleepy juice, give him that cocktail, and get him out of there. you know so yeah, so we got that going. Let's look at some more news. Let's look at some more news, man. This is a good one. We're gonna look at the situation with John Barnett, the Boeing whistleblower, that I'm not gonna say I'm pretty sure. I highly suspect that they got rid of him. Um, you know, I was involved with a whistleblower case myself, and these whistleblower laws that we have in the US are trash. They are trash. You are not protected, especially if you are a male whistleblower. You're a male whistleblower. The Whistleblower Act, the US Whistleblower Act Whistleblower Protection Act is trash, is garbage. And that's some legislation that needs to be worked on. But they're not gonna work on that. They're gonna let people come with alleged claims of sex crimes from 47 years ago. That's what they're focusing on. And there is an objective behind that, you know, that all has to do with Lady Liberty. Y'all don't hear me though. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it, but not here today. You all aren't ready for it. You need a prerequisite information before I even get into that, because you are not going to see what I see. Let's take a look at this story about John Barnett. Prayers up for the family of John Barnett. You know, he pretty much suspected what was going to happen to him was going to happen. And it did. Let me get set up so we can do this. Turn this mic off. Shout out to CBS Morning Show, CBS Mornings. Go check out their content. We're going to look at this video under the Fair Use Act. Fair use, fair use. Here we go.
In a CBS News exclusive interview, we are hearing from the family of a Boeing whistleblower who was found dead earlier this month. John Barnett, a former Boeing employee, had been giving evidence in a whistleblower lawsuit against the company. A coroner says he died from what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. It comes as Boeing's safety practices.
You know that coroner was paid off, right? I suspect that the coroner was paid off. I'm going to say that. I suspect that the coroner was paid off. These people have tentacles that have a very long range. Never underestimate the reach of corruption. Let's continue. Fair use, fair use.
Have come under new scrutiny due to a series of recent mid-air incidents. Mark Strassman spoke with Barnett's mother and brother, and he's in Charleston, South Carolina. Mark, good morning. We're learning a lot about Mr. Barnett.
Good morning, Vlad. We are learning a lot. John Barnett was the quality manager for Boeing and the type of guy who had no problem speaking up when something was wrong. And for that, his whistleblower lawsuit claims the company retaliated against him.
He never wanted to try to bring Boeing down or hurt him. That was the least of his agenda.
I agree with, I guess this is his mother. I'll tell you, he seemed like, just listening to the few things I heard from him before, it seemed like, according to him, he wanted to protect the public. Indeed, the information that he blew the whistle about, it was about ultimately protecting the public, ultimately protecting people, and it was care for people over care for profits. So, you know, prayers up, John Barnett. Let's continue. Fair use, fair use.
Vicky Stokes' son, John Barnett, spent more than 3 decades working at Boeing.
Initially, he loved Boeing.
Yes.
Rodney Barnett says his brother John became concerned when he transferred to Boeing's South Carolina plant in 2010.
What kind of problems did he tell you that he noticed in the factory?
Quality issues, procedures that wasn't being followed, shortcuts that was trying to be taken.
Barnett claimed he was retaliated against for speaking up. He left the company in 2017.
He didn't go into a lot of detail, but I know he was like embarrassed at meetings. He would be called out.
Was his treatment at work, did it wear on him?
Oh, yes. That would wear anybody down after, I don't know whether it's 7 or 8 years.
In a whistleblower lawsuit, Barnett alleged a litany of safety concerns: titanium shavings falling into electrical wiring, defective oxygen tanks, and managers urging him to cut corners. Robert Turkowitz and Brian Knowles represent Barnett.
The retaliation John faced was something he endured constantly.
You know what? About this retaliation thing from these companies, I understand having lawyers on your corporate panels, your municipal panels and stuff. And a part of their job is to protect the company from lawsuits. But a big thing that's not discussed is that these attorneys teach these corporate and they teach these officials how to also screw with people and get away with that. And that's what's not covered by the Whistleblowers Protection Act. I know when I went through my stuff, I got screwed with constantly for uh, going to a federal agency about what was going on um, in my situation, and they found all kinds of slick ways to. I got disciplined for stuff that nobody ever in the history of the organization had gotten disciplined for, even though the circumstances that what I was disciplined for occurred commonly. I was the only one ever disciplined for it. So yeah, I have no love for uh corrupt officials. And I root every time they get caught in the act. I may make that a source of activism. Let's continue. Fair use, fair use.
Constantly.
He wasn't trying to hurt Boeing. He was trying to save Boeing. He saw this coming, and he said at some point, this is all going to come down on Boeing.
In recent months, Boeing has grappled with questions about its safety culture, specifically repeated problems with its 737 MAX planes, including the mid-flight blowout of an Alaska Airlines door. Barnett worked on a different plane, but raised similar concerns.
What was his reaction to those headlines?
It wasn't joyful, I can tell you that. The whole thing was the flying public. He had their back. All these times, he's had their back trying to stand up, get safety concerns straightened out.
Earlier this
Yeah, he seemed like he genuinely wanted to protect people. Let's continue. Fair use, fair use.
month, Barnett was found dead in his truck from what the coroner says was an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Do you believe this was a suicide?
The investigation is going on right now, and yeah, we're not going to go to that. We're going to wait and see what the investigation brings out.
Do you blame Boeing?
We're going to stop that video right here. But yeah, I believe something more nefarious happened than what we're being told about Mr. Barnett. And I hope that a thorough investigation is performed. Thing about it is and going back to Diddy allegedly bragged to Ronald Jones, the guy that's suing him right now, was that he had cleaners, people that can clean up and fix crimes, fix uh, uh, nefarious situations. And, Diddy is one person that has that, but there is a whole industry of people out there that, yes, they are fixers. If you remember the John Wick movies, John Wick, after he shot up a few people in his house, he had people that came in, cleaned up everything, and left. You know, you actually have people like that, and that's it sounds fantastic, but you do have people like that. A lot of the stuff that we see in these movies and stuff, a lot of us think it's art. It's like, that is just art. that is just fantasy. A lot of this stuff, man, there's an element of reality to it. And depending on how large that element is, that really depends on the research of the writers and directors and stuff like that, man. But they do have cleaners out there, man. They have people who are they fix things, they clean up things. We see it all the time. We see it, but we don't see it. And because it doesn't affect our personal life, we just look past it. That whole thing and that whole thing with the George Floyd situation, that was fixed. Chauvin, as big an idiot as he is, should not be in prison. He should not be in prison. But that situation was fixed the other way. That if the information is out there, pretty soon it's going to come to the forefront, and they're going to have to let that guy go. And that situation may be some further fixing may be involved. We'll see. But yeah, you got a lot of nefarious stuff going on, man. You all just don't realize, man, there's a lot of there's a whole underworld out there that people don't realize is out there because it doesn't affect them directly. It doesn't affect their day-to-day life. It's not impacting what they do and how they feed their families and pay their rents and stuff, so they don't know. But, looking at this, the Puffy situation, looking at this John Barnett situation, looking at several other situations, there's a lot that goes on behind the veil. I think I'm gonna turn it to the Alex Jones type. I'm gonna be the Alex Jones type and start exposing some of this stuff, man. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Bohemian Grove. I'm just playing. But man, hey, there's a lot of stuff, man, that needs to be exposed. There's a lot of stuff, and this is the time to do it. This is the year to do it. I told y'all what 2024 was, man. And I'm not the only person that says this about 2024. This is going to be the era of exposing a whole lot of nonsense, man. A whole lot of nefarious stuff that's going on, man. Uh, I got to go watch that Nickelodeon that documentary about Nickelodeon so that we can talk about it because we've seen several child actors and kids from these shows back in the day that they are not, as adults, they are not in a good place. A lot of them are dealing with addictions and all kinds of problems, and it stems from their time in the entertainment business. And you all know what I've said about the entertainment business before. You all know what I've said. You got a whole bunch of Didleys and Diddies and Epsteins and Weinsteins running around there and drug dealers and, and all kinds of stuff, man. You got all kinds of stuff going on like that. As far as the Freaknik documentary, listen, what I know and understand about Freaknik, I cannot confirm or deny that I may have visited Freaknik one time. At least once. I can't confirm or deny. Um, you know, I will confirm that I had to work a Freaknik like celebration in Chicago. I did have to work one. So, but from what I'm hearing with this documentary, that it's applesauce. It's applesauce. What I know of the Freaknik, the actual Freaknik stuff. It was hot sauce made from Scotch bonnet peppers, and if you know anything about Scotch bonnet peppers, it is they're very spicy, very hot. So from what I'm hearing, it's this documentary is pretty much weak sauce. So I don't know if I'm going to watch it or not, but I do know something about Freaknik outside of the documentary, and maybe I'll speak on it. If I get more subscribers, then yeah, I'll talk about it then. You know, I need more subscribers. I need to get this channel popping. So if y'all really want me to really talk about some stuff and not be coy and stuff, I need more subscribers. Share this with your friends. Even if you're like, hey, I don't like that clown, man. Go look at his channel and tell me you can't stand him too. Yeah, hey, tell him to do that. Hey, yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it. But yeah, man, I heard it was pretty much weak sauce from the different reviews of content creators who have opinions that I trust on it. So we'll see. Mr. Foster said, "Yeah, that's real private. That's real private morticians for the highest bidder with gold, silver, physical trading, barter exchange. Yeah, man. Yeah, that man. I'm telling you. Even if you just look at it on the rudimentary level, I've seen this several times. Somebody, the girlfriend that sneaks the gun in the club. Yeah. Then it kick off that pistol get popped, and then that pistol was handed off to two or three other people. Yeah, that's it in the most simplest form. Somebody gets stabbed and they hand the knife off to somebody else and they wipe the knife off and that knife disappeared, never to be seen again because it's at the bottom of a river somewhere. Yeah, we've all seen that. That's it in the simplest form. And then when you interview the people that were around the situation that may have information, nobody's seen anything. Oh no, I ain't seen nothing. And then conversely, on the other side, which we don't talk about, people who lie for the prosecution, people who give false testimony. It happens all the time. Yeah, I saw him do it, and that person wasn't even there. I saw everything, and so he did this, and then he raised up like this, and then he was like, ah, and then you come to find out this person ain't seen Jack. But they're attempting to fix the situation. They're attempting to steer the information in a way to support the agenda of somebody else that may be nefarious. It happens all the time. It happens all the time on both sides. What we're gonna start doing on this channel is addressing that. We're gonna start addressing that because it needs to be addressed. A lot of these Victim Survivors Act complaints, a lot of these Me Too complaints, I would say I can't give an exact percentage, but there is a large percentage of this stuff that's lies. You look at with the Bill Cosby stuff. You had people making claims against Bill Cosby in places that he was not at the times that they said he was. Then conversely, you know, and that's not to say Bill Cosby wasn't doing some stuff he had a business. Bill Cosby was a drug dealer. He was the party boy. He had the pills and stuff. He was the Diddy of his day, with the pills and the I don't think he had the criminality because that wasn't the accusations that was made against him. But he was supplying pills to supplying pills to fiends. He was supplying drugs to fiends. He was the party boy. And if you know anything about that culture, that's sex was exchanged for drugs. A certain demographic is known for doing that. That's their MO, because coochie is currency. I said it. Coochie is currency. In their minds, coochie is currency. That's why that's their medium of exchange. It is what it is. Some of y'all may not like that I said that, but it's true. It's true. The first thing that demographic, that particular demographic, that particular gender demographic likes to do, well, if I couldn't find a job, I'll become a prostitute. How many times have y'all heard that? How many times have y'all heard that? We all know at least one family member that has said that. Maybe I should sell some. We've heard that. For you guys out here, y'all know y'all heard. And they're laughing. They laugh it off, but it's like the whole Nelly thing. I'm just playing, unless you're gonna do it. They're just joking, unless the situation came up for real. The spoils of war theory lets you. It explains it all. It happens all the time. After selling cheeks, after exchanging cheeks for, different things. So I've seen it enough throughout my life and in my professional career to, I'm very neutral. I'm very skeptical of, stories of victimization when it comes to certain stuff, because I know what happens. I know what happens. You know, I understand, transactional, the certain transactions. We're gonna leave it at that. We're gonna leave it at that. But getting back to the cleaners, yeah, we've seen people do it. We've seen people, hand off weapons, lie for other people. We've seen, situations of witness tampering. Hey, you better not show up at court, or if you show up at court, you better say that you ain't seen nothing. We gonna you know, we know what Big Mama go every day at 3:30. We know where your kids go to school. We see stuff like that all the time. In the simplest form. You best believe that there are people who are PhD level professionals that clean up crimes and that fix situations. Mechanics. You know, that's a street term for it. Mechanics. They exist, you know, and the very wealthy all have mechanics, you know. They fix the problem, you know. Yeah, so what do y'all think, man? What do y'all think? I got 9 people in the house. Do me a favor. All 9 of you hit that like button. Hit that like button. Either that or hit the dislike button. If you don't like what I'm saying, hit that dislike button. Hit something. I only got 3 likes. Hey, hit that like button, man. Quit playing with my emotions. Playing, hey, be like Smokey when it comes to them. Be like a big worm when it comes to them likes. Playing with my likes is like playing with my emotions. Yeah, man. So, yep. So I'm thinking about shutting this down. You all have any other news stories you'd like to talk about? Y'all got anything else you all would like to talk about, man? Zelensky still trying to hustle the U.S. for money. Yeah, I don't care what nobody say, man. Zelensky, you know, Zelensky on some BS, man. The president of Ukraine, man, I don't trust that dude as far as I can throw him. So I do not trust that guy as far as I can throw him. Oh, I got a story we can take a look at. You know, it deals with this migrant situation, you know. Let's take a look at this real quick, man. You know, like I've told you guys before, I'm a descendant of immigrants, you know, on one side of my family, you know. Um, and I have no issues with legal immigration at all. You know, if you go through the proper channels, you do it the right way, and you come just try to make a better life and contribute something to the country, hey, I'm all for it. You know, if you coming over here to be a burden on our tax system and to, you know, pillage and wreak havoc, nah, stay where you at. You know, stay where you at. You know, I am Team America First because this is where I'm at. You know, I'm a U.S. citizen. I was born here. You know, so let's take a look at this situation at the border, at the southwest border. Shout out to Fox News. We're going to take a look at this video clip. Fair use, fair use. Let's do it.
This morning, 9 migrants who were part of that massive mob that was storming the border and pummeled National Guard troops in El Paso, reportedly now in custody, at least 9 of them, charged with assault and inciting a riot.
Fox News contributor, retired acting ICE Director Tom Homan joins us now. Okay, this is my home state of Texas. I want to know, Tom, why aren't all of them that came across the border and assaulted our officers, that contributed to this invasion, all of them not charged?
Well, it's being investigated, Lawrence. They're taking a lot of film, trying to identify these people, whether in Border Patrol custody or ICE custody or in custody of the DPS, but they're trying to identify all of them. Look, I think the state of Texas is doing a great thing here, right? They're enforcing the law. They're adding a consequence.
Shout out to Texas, man. Texas is not playing around. Shout out to Florida. Hey, Florida been stopping them Haitians on them boats. They not playing with them, man. You know, I listen, I get it with the Haitians looking for asylum. I get it. But at the same time, I've been to Haiti. I've been to Haiti a couple of times, and hey, man, you know, shout out to the Haitian people. They're good people, but every group has a criminal element, and it seems like the criminal element is definitely trying to make it to the U.S. And I don't want them in here. I don't want the criminal element from any country outside of the U.S. to come to the U.S. I don't want the criminal element from China, from Venezuela, from El Salvador, from China, from Iran, any of that. I don't want the criminal and the terrorists coming to my country. You know, I don't. I like what little safety and security we have over here. Listen, I'd rather it stay the same than to get worse. So, you know, shout out to Texas for making the effort. Shout out to Florida for making the effort. Let's continue. Fair use, fair use.
When you put hands on one of our officers, you need to be held accountable. You need to be in prison. But thank God the state of Texas is doing it, because I didn't think if it came to the administration, the Biden administration, they won't be prosecuting this. When there's a show, when there's a show of force on the border, they're quick to engage and vilify the men and women of the Border Patrol that did the horse patrol, right? So when it comes to use of force, they'll attack the men and women wearing the uniform, but not so much of the illegal aliens. So thank God that the state of Texas is stepping up in this. I don't think the Biden administration would be doing it.
No.
You know what really strikes me when I see that footage is just the lack of respect. They wouldn't try this with Mexican police. You know, they know what they would get if they did. And again, then it speaks to the kind of people that we're allowing in. I mean, my mother was an immigrant.
Hey, shout out to the Mexican police and Mexican Border Patrol. They do not mess around. They don't mess around. Hey, listen, if you get caught coming into Mexico from Guatemala or even Belize, hey, they catch you. They either if you commit a crime, you're going straight to jail. If you are not committing a crime, you just caught in those countries illegally. They getting you up out of there with the quickness. They do not mess around. I've seen it up close. As you all know, I have family in Belize and Honduras. And hey, listen, Mexico does not play around. A lot of what the news does not cover, a lot of those people that try to come across that Mexican border, a lot of them get stuck in Belize, in the city, in places like Corzal and San Pedro and stuff like that. A lot of them get stuck. They wind up getting stuck over there because you know, the Mexicans ain't playing around. Hey, listen, hey, they're like, hey, they can go into the U.S. from this country, but you know, good luck getting into you know, Mexico coming from certain places. They, you know, it is definitely a political game, and I don't fully understand what Mexico's motivations are, but you know, I talk to Guatemalans about you know, the stories they know about getting caught at the border, even some of them with experiences of getting caught at the Mexican border, because Mexico does not mess around. Let's look at this video some more. Fair use, fair use. Let's continue.
To this country, and she was so proud and so happy and so grateful. And these people don't have enough respect even for the people at our border, the Border Patrol.
You know, Rachel, you're exactly right. These people feel empowered, emboldened by this administration, not just the Biden administration, but the Mexican president, the Mexican administration. These people think they got a right. They have the God-given right to enter this country legally and be flown to the city of their choice, get a free hotel room, get free meals, get work authorization, because they see that this administration has done that for millions of people, released them into the United States. Back in my day, when I was a Border Patrol agent, you never saw this kind of disrespect to agents. I mean, I think every illegal alien ever arrested respected the uniform, respected what we were doing. We always had a few people gave us a problem, but
Yeah, I know a few border, customs and border control agents, and you know, they talk about that, how within the last few years the attitudes have gotten worse, and that's because of what's going on in the U.S. With leftist policies and rhetoric. They're basically, it's their own version of manifest destiny, which I have a problem with it on both sides. The idea that, you know, this is our God-given land, or we are um, committing acts uh, uh, acts of return and stuff, and it's like, okay, all right, but you have a lot of clown talk like that on the left and the right, and stuff like that needs to be addressed by us in the middle. Like, you know, we not having it from neither side. It's not going down, and it's not just topics like this. Is that there's other stuff. That's why you know, you hear you know, certain religious groups, well, you hear Christians, you know, for all of that stuff that they was pushing for in the early 2000s, they pushed that pendulum too far. Now we got the new religion of the L Gibbets. So when they complain about the stuff that the LGBT is doing, I'm going, well, you showed them how. It's your fault. you know, you got to put it right back in their lap and give them that accountability they need. You know, let's continue fair use, fair use.
The respect for Border Patrol agents has been lost because this administration itself has disrespect to the men wearing uniform, men and women wearing uniform. So why shouldn't they illegal aliens?
Yeah, that looks like a disrespect to our country.
100%. And if you look at the video, you see Texas DPS, you see Texas National Guard, but you see no Border Patrol. And the Border Patrol wants to be there, but the Biden administration has all of these Border Patrol agents that go out there and risk their life. They're supposed to be risking their life doing processing. So if it weren't for Texas DPS, Texas National Guard, all of these people would be in the country right now. Tom Holman, thanks so much.
Shout out to Greg Abbott in Texas for handling the business. And hopefully these migrant rebel rousers are charged and sent back to the country, their countries of origin. Hope, unfortunately, if they are convicted of their charges, we would have to house them in our country to have them carry out their sentences. It is what it is, but immediate deportation is I prefer that. Get them up out of here. Send them on their way. If they from Venezuela, Venezuela ain't taking them back. Venezuela is not taking them back. Yeah. Venezuela say, no, that's your problem now. We got rid of them. We don't take, once you put trash out, you don't bring it back in the house. Shout out to Venezuela. Shout out to Venezuela, man. Yeah, man. Yep. But you know what? The U.S. actually needs a policy like that. Hey, the U.S. needs to spread the wealth. We have people that we clearly need to kick out of the U.S. We have U.S. citizens we need to kick out. That we need to revoke their citizenship. We need to, all of them, if so-and-so, I'm going to leave the country, let's kick them out. Let's help them out. So-and-so one, you ready to go? And you've had it on both sides, both the left and the right, liberals and conservatives, Republicans and Democrats. Such and such when I'm gonna go to Canada. Well, send them. Kick them out the country. People who commit certain crimes in the U.S. speak in a way that not being objectively critical, but people who disparage our country, we should reserve the right to kick them out. Get them up out of here. You better pick a country you want to go to and get to step in. We need to be able to kick them out. So I don't know. What do you all think about that? I think maybe I should write a bill and push it to see if it can get become legislation. Kick the garbage out. Once you kick the garbage out, you don't go and bring it back into the house. I think it's a good idea. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here. I may come back later. You all take it easy. I appreciate y'all being here. 10-4, Mr. Foster. Shout out to No News. Y'all take it easy. Mike Reed, if you out there, take it easy, bro. To all my day ones, you guys take it easy. I may come back later. It depends on how my day goes, but man, may you be protected by the Creator. Be safe. Make it home. Make your money. This is Mr. Royce J. Royce Media. Like, share, and subscribe. get in the comment section. If you want me to talk about something, shoot me an email or shoot me a message or Messenger if you're on my Facebook. Love you all. I'm out.